So, you know that I'm teaching public speaking and persuasion and mass communication and even public speaking and body language.
Welcome to today's show, Experts Dubai. Today, our guest, a really special guest, flew all the way from Lebanon, Miss Roula Bahsoun. She's a TV expert, she's a TV presenter, and I welcome her to Dubai, to our podcast studio. I'm very excited to talk to her today about her past, what she did in the past, how she went into the business, and how she can support our company and our clients in the future when it comes to media presence in the Middle East. Roula, welcome to the show.
Thank you, David. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Everything is good. Thank you.
I know we have today the podcast early in the morning.
Yeah.
Usually we have it in the evening. So everybody's still a little bit tired, but we will give our best, right? Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much.
Roula, I think we will start from the early beginning.
Yeah.
How did your career start? When did it start? How old you was, and how did you come to media here in the Middle East?
So I joined the media university and when I was 17 years old. So I started doing like everything, like workshops, even for free. I start ask about how I can be a good journalist. So I start working on myself, and I start working in different TV channels, different like newspapers, radio, and TV. And now I'm here. So I did my job exactly in media's world. So even I start teaching media and two universities. So Lebanese International University and Islamic University, and I start give I train student in Lebanon, in Kuwait, in Syria, in training centers, and very soon, inshallah, in Dubai. In Dubai, yes, and in Iraq also.
Okay, that's very interesting. So you're like very exposed to the Middle East, actually. But let's go back to the beginning. I saw some interesting videos. You, as a very young journalist in Syria, in the war, as a war journalist, basically.
Yes, in 2014.
Can you tell me how it happened? How does a young girl is going to the war to become a journalist?
Always people ask me about that. Actually, you know something, when they ask me to be a reporter in 2014 and what kind of reporter, they ask me if you want a normal reporter or a regular reporter or, for example, a reporter in the war zone. So I choose to be a reporter in war zone, and they send me to Syria. I start covering the war there in 2014. And when I started covering the war in 2014, I was so young, and it wasn't easy for me. And it was like something new for me. At Ghouta, you know, there is a place there. It's a dangerous place, a dangerous area. It wasn't easy, and even in Qusair and Jubar and Qabul, these areas. There is, ISIS, and there is difficult to be to success there in the war zone.
So, how did they prepare you for this? Did they prepare you? Did you have to undergo some special training, or did they just send you to Syria and said just make some good photos and videos? So how does this work exactly?
Before I have an experience in Lebanon, in Tripoli, there is fight between two areas. Mm-hmm. So it was like a small war. So after that, when I chose to go to Syria, they prepare me in Lebanon. It wasn't easy. Behind the camera, you start prepare, but when you go to Syria, it's something different. You should start looking at yourself, like if I can make it or no. So the game starts, they trying to teach me how I can deal with the armies, how I can deal with the bomb, how when I should go back, when I should go with the armies, when no, when yes. So that's it.
So we all know that many journalists died also there. Did you have like constant fear of dying, or was there like some?
My colleague died there.
Okay.
Yes, he was my colleague at the university and my colleague in Media's World. So he was in different channel. He was in Malula area and I was in Ghouta. So they told me that he just died. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't easy because he was my close friend and I was scared about myself, and because of my family was, scared of me because of the situation. It wasn't easy. It's like a competition for us, who's gonna win in this war, and to get back to our family. Mm-hmm. So yes, it wasn't easy.
So did you have any like crazy situation there that you was like under shelling, or that there was an attack and you was like in the middle? Was there something happening? Yes, we
were in the middle, and there is armies with us. They died next to me, and in March 2014 there is a big explosion in Damascus there, and someone important died, and I go to the hospital to cover everything. So I saw an army. He's dead inside, and he's feeling very pain. He was so sick after this explosion. So it wasn't easy to see like this, and I was so young.
So did it affect you afterwards? Like, did it change something inside you?
Yeah, I'm being more stronger. I am being like someone who loves to be with more competitions like this war. But you know something, when I ask myself why I should go to this area, and I saw my mom, like she was super sad, and she was waiting for me, and she's checking on me every day on the TV. So I was asking myself why I should do this. But it was for us as a journalist, so it's like adrenaline. So it's something, I need to try this. It's something important for me. But after that, you should think about your family and yourself and your future life. So for now, I don't think I will try it again,
Okay.
Yes.
So it's basically something what you do when you're really young, because the level of risk is much, much higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, I completely understand. So what happens afterwards? So you came back from the war, and then you started to work in media?
Yes, I start working on myself more and more, and I start presenting the news. Like, for example, I start the small news, the brief news, and after that, the big show. I have a program, and also I have my own, time for presenting the news on the TV. It was with important guests, international guests, So we make like negotiations about Middle East, about international, presidents, like America, USA, Russia, everything. So I start reading everything about these, areas, and how I can deal with a guest about that. So it's make, something. It's make a new life in media, and makes me feel like I'm a big journalist, because year after year, you realize that this word, media's word, is not like something you go to the work and you come back home. No, you should read every day, and you should check the news every day, every single moment, to be ready for every and any situation in this world.
I understand. So your knowledge about the Middle East must be very, very enormous, right? Which can be very interesting for for people or for companies who want to settle here in the Middle East and who want to actually do business development here, I guess. So you just told me that you're also a pilot. How did this happen?
Yeah, yeah. Always people ask me about that. You know something, when I start being a pilot or study the pilot, when I finish my master's, I start going to do my, high level in media at university. So I said, okay, after the crisis in Lebanon, why I should go to the university to just stay in the same world. I need to do a different career. And the dollar start jump in Lebanon, and we don't know how we should pay for the university for a new career. So I start a new career. After that, I go to aviation school because I was an instructor at two universities in Lebanon, and I have my master. So I said, okay, why not to do another career? So I go extreme, and I start the new career, and my my passion being a pilot, it was when I was young. So I go to the aviation school and I asked them, I need to join you. And they said, okay, if you have you finish your college and everything. So I start doing my ground and start preparing to fly and doing my simulator classes. And now I'm a pilot after 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's really impressive. In such a difficult country, you just fulfill your dreams, basically. And what I can see is that you are like a person who likes risks, right? A little bit.
In Lebanon, even with the crisis, you can make something in Lebanon. Because we're open, we do everything and anything in Lebanon. Okay, we are an Arab country, but we live like European. Mm. We speak Arabic, English, French, and we have many people, they are well educated. When we start going to the school when we were young, we don't start learning Arabic. We start learning English or French in the first classes. So this is amazing in Lebanon.
Okay, so you was now 12 years in media.
Yeah.
So you have like a lot of experience over this more than a decade, and now you left the media to basically go the next step, right?
Yes.
So what is your next step, Roula?
Yeah, I left my comfort zone, if you want to name it comfort zone.
So the situation what we have now here in the Middle East is that some countries are really prospering, okay? Yeah. Like the United Arab Emirates, they are building up like crazy. Saudi Arabia is going to an uptrend. They invest billions of dollars into infrastructure and tourism. Other countries start slowly to build up. So the big wars and the big fights are over at the moment. So everything starts to calm down a little bit. So what we see and what we can see in our statistics is that many companies are coming now to Middle East. Europe is in a big crisis. There's war between Russia and Ukraine. America is involved and so on. So the whole conflict zone is shifting to the West now, right? Yeah. And the Middle East will prosper from this. So thousands of companies are coming. I was just yesterday in one of our free zones where we issue 500 new companies every month, and that's just one of the free zones. And we have 50 free zones in UAE. So what do you think, how important is it for a company who want to do business development in the Middle East, who want to set up business here and do business here with the locals, with the Arabs? How important is it to also have a media presence? How important is it to be visible also in the media?
Something, the Middle East right now after the crisis and the war, everything. So now we are able to accept the new companies and the new business people in our countries. So they can now rebuild the Middle East again and again and again. So we have places, we have many places, we are searching for them. So right now we have these platforms like social media, like TV channels. They accept and they are sending or ordering like a new business, okay, and they are asking for a new businessman to join the program to talk about their companies, and they are open to these companies to let them to talk more and more about their work. So we have something, for example, like morning show. It's specialized for this kind of work. So, for example, the businessman, he came to us and he started talking about his work, the morning show or different kind of shows, and after that he can post his work and talk about his work in different platform like social media, for example websites, and his interview can go international, because our channel is not only local, it's international, and we put subtitles for the different kind of word, different kind of countries to understand what's going on, and they can make calls for him. We put the information, the full information about them, and they can start. And we have TV presenter. They are specialized in business to start negotiation with them to build kind of episodes about business and companies.
So, what kind of expertise you can give to our clients? So let's say there is a German company, okay, like German company, big company. I just give you a real example. They produce uniforms for businesses, right? On a big scale. They do it in Europe and in America. So now they want to come to Middle East and they want to sell their uniforms for companies also here in the Middle East. And they want to have a big exposure. So how would you bring them into the media?
Yeah, look, it's a good question. Actually, for me, I'm a media consultant, so I can help them how they can build their new image here. I teach public speaking and persuasion and even body language, so they can use these things, and teach them about it. So that I'm teaching public speaking and persuasion and mass communication and even public speaking and body language. So for them, is it very important to work with someone? You have these skills to teach them how they can, sell themselves and sell the ideas.
Yeah, I think this is like teaching international companies how to act in the Middle East. I think this is one of the keys of success here. Yeah. I can talk out of my own experience because I'm working with the Arabs, especially with the Saudis, since many years now, and it's a completely different mentality. So it's like you can say one wrong word and the business is over. Yeah. So I think if a company really wants to work here, they cannot come with their own mentality and just like work the way how they work in Europe, because in Europe it can be, in Germany for example, it can be sometimes rough, that people really say it exactly like they think. When something is not working, they tell their partners, listen, it doesn't work like this. What are you doing? If we keep going like this, we will not work anymore together. If you say this to an Arab person, the Arab person will never talk to you again. Okay. So like teaching this sensitivity, I think is one of the keys of success here in the Middle East, and this is something what you're doing.
The businessman or the person who trying to rebuild his company or do his own job in the business world. So he should start learning how he should talk about his work, how he should send his message, the good message, and there is people, if there is people in Middle East, he should try to work with them and to learn how to work with them. So in their mentality, there is a different kind of mentalities in Middle East. For example, in Lebanon, it's different. In Syria, different. And there is no place for tough people. If he should learn how to deal with them in a nice way, because they have many businessmen. They came from other countries to put their money, invest in Lebanon. So they have many options. So he should start learning how to be one of these options to be success in Arab countries.
Exactly. Yeah, because I think the personal connection also to these people is extremely important. So business takes a little bit longer, like in European countries or American countries. So building up this trust with the locals is a big thing, because as you say, there's like thousands of companies are coming.
Yes, it's not easy to build and trust with local, because there is many options.
Exactly.
And it's like competition.
Exactly.
So you have your own experience and you came here. It's like someone who's trying to find a job here in UAE and there is no place, and you should put your goals again and again, and you try again and again. It's not easy in UAE or different in Middle East in general.
So there's this movie. It's called Hologram for a King with Tom Hanks. I will put a link below. This movie inspired me to go to Saudi Arabia and do business.
Yeah.
So this movie shows exactly how difficult it is to do business in the Middle East, and how many stereotypes are happening there. It's like there's so many stereotypes that are really true. Tom Hanks in this movie, he tried everything to sell a new technology, and he wanted to talk to the king. There's always so many people, they say, I know the king, I know him, and they brought him in so many difficulties and difficult situations, because a lot of people also talk a lot. I mean, it's not only here, it's everywhere in the world. But the movie shows exactly how persistent you have to be if you want to be successful here, and that you should not give up. And in these countries, even more than anywhere else, because everything takes here a little bit longer, based on mentality, based on culture, and so on. So to understand this culture, to understand the Middle East, first of all, before stepping into all kind of circumstances that make you suffer, maybe, and before that, it's very important to educate yourself. And I think that you are the right person to do this education and to help businessmen to understand the Middle East, to get their media presence here, to get visible, not only in social media, but also in the classical media, also in the TV channels and so on. So if somebody really want to step into this culture and into this region with millions of potential clients, then I think you are the right person. And that's why we decided to support you. So we will link you down below. Our clients can already contact you. They can get 30 minutes free consultation from you. And we will see what the future brings. But I think the future is very bright in the Middle East.
And I'm ready. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much for coming. I wish you a nice trip back to Lebanon. And I think we will see each other very soon again.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roula.
Thank you.